Ikram was awarded the Youth America Award for University Talent. Ceremony at the Chamber of Deputies. I wonder if Ikram has told the Parliament that the Italian students are unhappy with the school system of merit. I wonder if Ikram has limited herself to her point of view of a student of excellence. To distinguish the real excellence in this swampy system of merit, I have decided to organize a scholarship of €200,000. Concerning this event, you are welcome to contact the lawyer. Dear Ikram, this €200,000 scholarship is dedicated to all anonymous students. To participate, you can use any media, books, computers, artificial intelligence, libraries, including expert personnel such as university professors, MPs, and journalists. Admitting all possible support, I wonder if you could tell one democratic value, that it has been a Catholic value in history. I like to make sure you understand the question. On January 3, 1925, Mussolini said that democratic values have to be found in the Catholic tradition. After that, he dissolved the parliament, dismissed the political parties, suspended the freedom of the press, reinstated the Vatican City, and then he imposed the religion of state and persecuted the oppositions as apostates of the faith and enemies of the state. This principle of democracy introduced by Mussolini was reaffirmed at the end of the war in the excommunication of communists and all those who make common cause with secular values. Since you are a student of excellence, I wonder if you could tell one democratic value that it has been a Catholic value in history, or you just read the books as carefully as you can. So I like to underline that democratic values are the result of the emancipation from the absolute power of the Church. The democratic values, such as to freedom of choice and the secular value of justice, have never been Catholic values, but Catholic heresies, to be eradicated. And so, last by Mussolini. And especially the secular value of justice, especially the emancipation from the divine justice. Just the exact reason why the ancient pre-Christian Romans called the Christians by the name of barbarians, uncivilized barbarians. Dear Ikram, just about the civil rights and human rights in which you are so expert. Just about the emancipation from the divine justice. Could you tell the exact reason why the ancient Romans called the Christians by the name of uncivilized barbarians? Since you've studied so much, and you're so excellent, and you're so involved in civil rights and human rights, could you tell one democratic value that it has been a Catholic value in history? The ancient pre-Christian Romans were saying these things to the Jews when Jesus Christ was not yet born, and neither was Muhammad. Can you see this? Could you tell where it comes from, this right to claim that democratic values are Catholic legacy, without being able to tell even one of these democratic values that would be of Catholic legacy?
At the time Mussolini entered the political scene in 1919, Italy was a democracy, people could vote, and Mussolini presented himself as a revolutionary, an agitator who wanted to turn the tide. One of the most important moments in the dictator's rise is when the traditional elites handed over power to the future dictator. Giacomo Matteotti, leader of the Socialist Party, was kidnapped by fascist squadrists. When his body was found, found, there was a huge outrage, and a special investigation was launched by the prosecutor. During the investigation, it seemed that Mussolini's career was over, and he was asked to resign. To put an end to the situation, on January 3, 1925, he declared the dictatorship. He changed the prosecutors, the murderers were sentenced to light prison terms, and were eventually pardoned. Dictators like to pardon criminals. And the Italian society was never the same again.
And so still today, almost 100 years after January 3, 1925, even today, as a consequence of that moral matter introduced by Mussolini with the racial laws in 1925, the good students like Giulio Regeni and the thousands like him, they can flaunt the recommendations of the bishops for diplomas and degrees they never had, and can feel honest also after the confession of their cheating is public knowledge in the pages of news. On the other hand, the others are blackmailed for the confirmation of their real degrees, issued by Italian state universities, and then are turned into forgers and impostors, even though they are not, and their lawsuits are swept under the carpets along with those sent by the European Union, in order to cover up the traditional mafia of bribery, blackmail, and extortion. So I ask you whether it is the crucifix in classrooms, to turn the Catholic heresies into Catholic legacy. I ask you whether it is the crucifix in the school classrooms that gives you the right to claim the democratic values are Catholic legacy, even though you can't tell a single one of these democratic values that would be of Catholic legacy, despite all your studies and accolades. I ask you if it is the crucifix in the courtrooms that turns the perjury of public officials into acts of devotion and career opportunities. Ask Senator Liliana Segre to help you out. Not long ago, I wrote a letter to the senator. So, after 100 years of racial laws and demographic winter, among all the congressmen who honored you, among all the teachers who educated you, among all the journalists who motivated your passion for civil rights and human rights, can you find someone who can help you to tell one democratic value that it has been a Catholic value in history? Or the only option is to trust the black box that is your excellence education? Why do you think Italian students drop out of school? Why do you think Italian students are unhappy with the school system of merit? What would you call those who revel in and find personal pride in claiming the democratic values are Catholic legacy, without being able to tell a single one of these democratic values allegedly of Catholic legacy? Realize that the ancient pre-Christian Romans were saying these things to the Jews when Christ was not yet born, and neither was Muhammad. I understand that the Romans from Jerusalem may have many things in common with each other, but there is no democratic value among them, not even among the miracles. And especially the emancipation from divine justice, especially the reason why the ancient Romans called the Christians by the name of uncivilized barbarians. And so, I respond to your award of excellence. In the words of Galileo, numbers are truthful witnesses to what I say. If you can tell one democratic value that it has been a Catholic value in history, you can contact the lawyer and get ready to collect your award of 200,000 euros. Otherwise, you have to understand that only a fascist or an imbecile could claim that the democratic values are Catholic legacy.